Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the official season opener for the Durham Lords women's basketball team. My name is Joey Chapman. With me is John Lodge. Excuse me. Sorry, Johnny.
That's okay, buddy.
We're really looking forward to a great season of basketball action here as the Lords are about to take on the Centennial Colts in their first matchup of the year.
Yeah, Joey, it seems like the Lords had the Colts number last year.
Yeah, last year the Colts lost both matchups against our Lords. Lords taking the first game 70-49 in a big effort by none other than Lindsay Patchen, the top scorer for the team last year, who is going to be sorely missed as we go on through this season as Durham tries to replace their top two scorers, but we'll get more into that later. The other matchup was a 79-53 matchup right here at Durham, where once again Lindsay Patcham came up big with 26 points as we are moments away from tip-off for the 2017-18 season for the Lords.
Here we go.
Starting for the Lords, Maddie Denner, Dakota Kirby, Alicia Navarro, Caitlin Cruikshank, and Emily Chamberlain.
Tough way to start the game there as the Lords lost the ball out of bounds off the tip.
And taking the throw-in for the Centennial Colts is number 32, Camelia Turner. She is in the starting lineup, and with her is Michelle Beloso at forward, Judy Ta at guard, Yasmin Smith at forward, and Bethany Miller, another guard for the Colts, as we are just 21 seconds in here and still no points, Johnny.
Yeah, the Lords need to get off to a quick start here and put the Centennial back on their heels. They got them good in the two matchups last year, so you can bet that's playing in their head. And if the Lords can get off to a quick lead, they can get them back on their heels.
The Lords trying to build some confidence after an 0-6 preseason outing where they really struggled to score points, and that shot is up. And another one clanks off the rim here, where Durham struggled to put up points offensively in the preseason, losing every game and scoring us only 77 points once, a low of 48 against St. Clair in September. And the Lords are going to be very much looking to put points on the board early and often if they want to get their offense going into high gear early in this season.
Yeah, I was at a couple of those preseason games, and they did have leads in those games, but the defense was waning in the second half, and that's going to be big in this game. We're going to have to see if they can get some stops late in the game.
Yasmin Smith 1 for 2 at the line there and puts the first points on the board for the season for the Colts, who are also in their season opener. There's nothing quite like 0-0. Start your year off a fresh slate, Johnny, and really anything's possible.
Air ball there by the Lords. Tough from three.
That's the second miss for Dakota Kirby from 3 here tonight, as it looks like they're going to try and hit those threes and get the high impact points in here early, John.
Yeah, it looks like that, but I hope they don't sell out on the three-point shot there, Joey, because there's a lot of points in the paint that can be earned.
That is for sure, and that's going to be number Alicia Navarro taking her first foul of the night. It's the second team foul for the Lords already.
Yeah, that's too many fouls too early, man. We're only a minute and a half into this game, and they've got 2 team fouls. They're going to be in the bonus if they don't look out.
Has a scramble there underneath the net. Yasmin Smith hanging on to it for dear life, but it looks like she stepped out of bounds, and it's going to be, oh, excuse me. Caitlin Cruikshank got a little overexcited there and looked like she was going to take it, but ends up being Colts ball as that shot is up and clanks off the rim again.
Ooh, stolen by Centennial there.
It was Emily Chamberlain tried to come down with the rebound, but it was ripped out of her hands, and points for the Lords against as it's 3-0 Centennial here early. As a nice play there by Maddie Dender, drives in off the wall and really makes a nice play, taking it to the basket, John, for the first points of this 2017-18 season.
Yeah, that definitely looked good. If they can get more of that, then I think the Lords will win this game.
Dender's going to take a foul here. It almost looked like she was tripped up and was the Centennial attacker, but Dender takes the foul, and it's going to be a third foul against the Lords here, less than 2.5 minutes in.
And we got a substitution here, Joey. Centennial subbing in, pardon me, Olivia Thompson for Camilla Turner.
So the substitution.
Oh, sorry, not Camilla Turner. My apologies. I will figure that out eventually. My bad.
As the three is up and no good.
The Lords need to be stronger under the rim there, Joey. They're losing every rebound under their own rim.
Yeah, that's going to be Emily Chamberlain, the 5'11" forward out of Kingston. That's her wheelhouse right there, is winning those battles below the rim and really coming away with big rebounds for her team. Chamberlain takes that pass there, but once again just clanks off the rim and out. But a good steal there for the Lords. Here's Dender with the ball. Dender lets the three go, and off the rim.
It's another miss from three. The Lords are kind of cold from beyond the arc right now.
As the Lord, it really looks like they're struggling to shoot the long ball here early, John. Here's Judy Ta with it, stolen by Chamberlain. Nice steal there by Chamberlain as she comes up big defensively. Dender now with the ball. Dender kicks it back out. Here's Kirby, and a traveling call on Dakota Kirby as the Lords turn the ball over again here early.
That's too many turnovers, Joey. We're only 3 minutes into the first quarter. They've got 3 team fouls, and I mean, I'm not keeping too well track of these turnovers, but if they keep this up, they're going to find themselves down and down a lot.
Heather LaFonte, the head coach for the Lords, must have heard us up here, Johnny. She saw that Emily Chamberlain was struggling below the rim and brings in the biggest, tallest player for the Lords, number 52, Keisha Arthurworthy, to come in and clean up things defensively as she subs in for Chamberlain. The 6'1" out of Oshawa, Ontario, in her 4th year as the Lords, is one of only 3 four-year players for this Lords team, along with Kaden Owusu and Caitlin Cruikshank. And they're going to rely on her veteran presence, John, to keep to get those big rebounds below the rim.
Yeah, that's definitely a big plus, having someone 6'1" on your women's team. That's a big body, and hopefully she can collect those boards that the Lords weren't able to get earlier on in this game.
As Cruikshank lets a deep three go, but that one clanks off the rim again. And you know what, John, the Lords have taken, I want to say 3 or 4 threes early and haven't made any of them. Maybe it's time to switch things up and drive the basket and see if they can get some fouls, as they have 4, but Centennial has yet to give a foul, and they're up 3-2 here with 6:32 remaining in this first quarter.
Yeah, Centennial's going to the line again to shoot 2 here, and with 5 team fouls in the first 3.5 minutes of this quarter, the Lords have to get this in check. This is the defense that I was worried about from the preseason. It looks a little shaky right now, and I think the coach needs to send a message and maybe make another substitution.
You talk about defensive liabilities in the preseason, John. 84, 81, 82, 76, 85, and 85 points allowed in 6 preseason games played. When you're struggling to score and when you're losing your 2 top scorers in Lindsay Panashin and
Pancham
and Kayla Marshall last year, Pancham, I'm going to get that right by the end of the broadcast, had 25.8 points per game last year, John. And it's tough to replace that offensive production.
Oh, that's going to kill the Lords, too. Missing from the line, those are freebies, and you got to make all of those, man. That one was in and out by Dender.
Dender, normally very good from the line, struggling here early, but she makes that second one. It's to get the 3rd point for the Lords.
Yeah, the Lords are lucky here that they're not down more than just 1 point. It seems Centennial isn't capitalizing on all the opportunities that the Lords are handing them. We got another basket there by Centennial. It's 6-3 now.
Oh. As the Lords come back up the court, here is Kirby. Kirby tries to move it over to Cruikshank, but that ball is stolen there from the Colts, excuse me. And it's going to be another foul against the Lords, and they're in the bonus here are the Colts, so that's going to be another shot from the line with lots of time remaining here in this first quarter, John. This could be trouble for the Lords early.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. If I was Centennial's coach right now, I would be calling my girls over when I could and say, drive the lane, get them to make these fouls, because now we're going to the line every single time.
It's Kayla Pereira at the line for the Colts here. Made her first shot. And the second one is up and good as it's a 9. She increased the lead to 5, excuse me. My grade 4 math teacher would not be happy with me. As an 8-3 score, Centennial leading here early.
I think the Lords just have to move the ball around instead of trying to be a one-woman team. Instead of trying to dig out of this hole by themselves or by one person digging them out, they need to move this ball around. The ball will travel faster than you can run, and you just got to get Centennial off their game.
Yeah, Johnny, it seems like it's been a lot of ISO ball here early for the Lords, and as you mentioned, the ball's going to move faster, so it's definitely probably going to be in their best interest to move this ball a little more and play more of a team game here as they try and cut into this deficit.
Dender for 3 again and an air ball.
And they certainly haven't been afraid to shoot, Johnny.
No, that's the thing. When you're shooting threes, you can't worry about the ones you miss. You got to know that you're just going to make the next one.
As that ball's out of bounds on the Colts. And it's going to be Dakota Kirby making her way up the court. Kirby with the strong run up. Kirby still in control, looking around, looking for somebody, trying to get Crookshanks to come over. And it's Kirby gives that ball away. Tony Parker comes in, and Tony Parker makes that layup, making it look easy.
Yeah, making her namesake look good, man. Tony Parker from the Spurs, she kind of looked like him a little bit there.
It was a very nice steal and basket as a not very good play at all from Dakota Kirby as she gives that ball away at the top of the key. And these giveaways have really been the story early for the Lords.
The Lords just got lucky there. They hit Centennial from behind, knocked the ball out of her hands, and they got the ball. The ref missed that one.
And wholesale changes for the Colts there as they change their entire lineup. As a 5-woman substitution comes in here as they're up 7 points early. And as announced in-game by our own Chris Cameron. Emily Glendenning checking in for the game and making her debut as a Lord, the 5'10" Plattsville, Ontario native.
There you go, Joey. They swung the ball around, and number 4, she was wide open for an easy 2 there.
And that was Glendenning making her presence known here early. Just 20 seconds into her first game as a Lord, gets a big basket as the Lords try and cut this Colts lead with 4:32 remaining in this first quarter. The
Colts are headed back to the line again.
We're going to be saying that a lot, I feel like, for the next 4 minutes, John. They're in the bonus, and 5 quick fouls for the Lords is really going to affect how this first quarter lays out. And really, it could affect the rest of the game, as we have mentioned here early on in this broadcast. The Lords have really struggled to score points, and being down by double early is not a good way to start. But
I wonder if maybe the Colts put in their more aggressive lineup to try and entice more fouls by the Lords.
There's Camelia Turner there at the line, making 1 from 2. Good ball action there as Kirby sends the 3, and Kirby once again clanks out.
That one looked better, though, Joey. That one looked better.
That one at least hit the rim, John.
Yeah.
At this point, that's all you can ask for from these Lords players early. Here's Bethany Miller. Miller moves it over. There's Tony Parker, but Parker fouled there on her way up, and she's going to shoot 2. And Kirby continues her struggles today as she picks up another foul.
These Lords need to watch out because you don't want your starters fouling out of this game.
And for those who don't know, Johnny, how many fouls would one need to foul out of an OCAA game?
You know what, to be honest, I don't know that. I know that you need 6 fouls to foul out of an NBA game. I would assume it's 5, but I'll give it a quick look and I'll let you guys know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there, Johnny. I'm going to go with 6. This seems like that's probably the right number to me, but it could be 5 as we are in the bonus at 5. And that's an over and back against the Colts. As that ball is going to be brought over here, over to the near side where we are, Johnny, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Lords. Dakota Kirby seeing a lot of action here early. She has the ball now. Kirby moves it over to Navarro. Navarro back to Kirby on a little pick play. Sends it to Brody. Rosie back to Navarro. Kirby lets it up, and Kirby clanks another one off the rim as her 3-point shooting struggles continue here in this season opener, as the score is now 15-5 in favor of the Colts, who have
they've tripled up the Lords now.
Yeah, they've really taken advantage of these giveaways and missed shots of the Lords and just going down and putting 2 points on the board and slowly building their lead. Here's Brody. Brody from 3, and Brody drains it.
Finally, the Lords make one from distance.
Victoria Brody, the Scarborough, Ontario native, makes a big 3-pointer and the second of the year for the Lords, and a basket they really desperately needed to turn this momentum around. Here is Kirby now with it. Kirby drives the basket. Kirby kisses the backboard and in, and one. She's going to go to the line. Dakota Kirby making a strong play there to the basket, John.
That's what I'm talking about there, Joey. You got to drive that lane, throw that ball up off the glass, and put it in. Get those easy points. I mean, they're not easy, but those are the points that are going to go in more frequently than I would say the 3-ball.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of frustration there by Kirby, deciding she's not going to jack it up anymore and just going to go hard to the rim and do what she does well and pick up a basket and one, and she's going to take the free throws after this timeout here.
Looks like we got another timeout here.
Yeah, I didn't see who called it. I believe it was the Lords. It would make a lot of sense for me, for Heather LaFontaine, to call a timeout here, as she tries to talk her team down, and as they've cut this lead to only 5, as it was 10 just a few seconds ago. But they've really struggled, and it would not surprise me at all if Coach is just trying to calm her team down, and there's lots of basketball they have to play, not to get ahead of themselves.
Yeah, they don't need to be throwing up a ton of 3-balls on this one and trying to get it all back in a couple plays. Like I said, strong defensive ball, and then driving the lane, putting those 2s in, getting those layups, getting that body contact and shooting from the line. That's going to be huge in this game, because that's exactly what Centennial is doing to the Lords. So the Lords need to look at Centennial and just copy their game.
By all accounts, this should be a very exciting game, John. Last year, these two teams finished 3-4 in the OCAA women's basketball standings. Lords finished 3rd with a 11-6 record, putting up over 1,000 points on the year, 1,173. So offense, not their biggest concern last year, but the Colts last year finished with a record of 7-9, also put up more than 1,000 points, as Kirby misses her shot from the line.
Parker with the rebound there.
And this is number 5, Miriam Konata, with the ball for the Colts, swings it across. Here's Tony Parker with it. Parker sends it over to Mayaban, and Mayaban goes up. That's going to be another foul there, yep. Mayaban going hard to the net, picks up that foul, and that's Glendenning's first, but we're still in the bonus here. And with 2:26 left in this first quarter, we could see a lot more from the line.
Yeah, it's going to play in the Lords' favor if they can keep the ball in their hands as opposed to having Centennial drive the ball, because it seems that they're going to the line on almost every possession.
Mayaban makes her first shot from the line. Mayaban, another Scarborough, Ontario native in this game at 5'8", the forward. In her second year, is a big addition to this Colts team, and her rebounding and her play up the court has really been noticeable here early, John.
Yeah, the Lords had time on that last shot, and there goes Centennial from 3.
Judy Ta with a nice looking stroke to put up the 3, and a little bit of a swing go in the way of the Colts after the Lords looked like they were making a push and they called the timeout, but it's really been Centennial who's responded here as they come up the court again. But a good steal there by Dakota Kirby to turn this the other way, and she's trying to find Katie-Ann Owusu on the long stretch Tom Brady-like throw, but that one is stepped in front of and intercepted by the Colts.
Yeah, that's about all the Colts could do. I mean, in football anyway, if you watched on Sunday.
Well, Jacoby Brissett not working out very well for the Colts.
No. But we're here to talk about basketball.
We're basketball. It's Tuesday after a busy weekend in the NFL, but we're here balling as it's number 4, Emily Glendenning, making her second 3 of the night.
I think we found the person who needs to be shooting from beyond the arc there, Joey.
Give the ball to Glendenning, not making any mistakes here in her Lord's debut. As Parker tries to send that up under the net, but that ball is batted away. And it's going to be Glendenning here who gets the foul.
Gotta stay on your feet. Gotta stay down on your feet.
Bit on the jump and went right into number 23, Kayla Pereira, who's going to shoot 2 from the line here. With 1:25 remaining in this first quarter, the score is 19-13 in favor of the Colts.
This is the only way this is working out for the Lords right now is that Centennial is pretty cold from the line right now. It seems they're missing 1 of every 2 shots every time they go to the line.
Yeah, this could be a lot deeper hole for the Lords if Centennial has really been on their game. But like you mentioned, Johnny, they really have been almost as inconsistent as another 3 attempt from Dakota Kirby.
It was a little too strong there. That hit the back rim and popped out.
Kirby really just struggling to find her stroke here tonight. That's got to be her 5th 3 she's taken, and she hasn't made any of them. The only point she has on the night is that really nice play she made driving to the basket and off the backboard and got the foul. But here she is coming up the court now. Moves it over to Navarro. Navarro kicks it all the way back to Glendenning. Glendenning sends it up and off the rim and out.
Yeah, she didn't have her feet set on that one. She didn't think she had as much time as she actually did.
It looked like Glendenning rushed it a little bit. You're right, Johnny. Here's Owusu now off the steal by Brody. Kirby with the ball. Kirby coming up the court, sends it over. That shot is up and clanked off the rim by Victoria Brody.
Mercifully, this quarter is almost over. We're in the last 20 seconds.
Here is Kanata. Kanata moves it to Ta, and Ta makes no mistake again. And Ta with another nice looking stroke. That one only from 2, but she makes no mistake on that.
The Lords, once again, on that last possession, they rushed the shot. They had 3 seconds when the shot was put up. Kick that back out and get a clean look.
And that is going to be it for the first quarter here in the CRWC. The score is 22-13 in favor of the visiting Centennial Colts, led by Tony Parker, Judy Ta, and Bethany Miller, for the Colts, all having good first quarters. And for the Colts, John, they really couldn't have drawn it up any better for their first quarter of this season.
Yeah, no, they played almost a picture-perfect game on that one. They got the Lords in deep foul trouble early and took advantage of it. I think if I was coach over there on the sidelines, I might be a little bit upset with my women there and trying to get them to calm down a little bit, play a little bit more of a team game, like we said earlier in the quarter, and move the ball around and realize that you have more time on the clock. That they're putting up the shots way too quickly. They need to set their feet and make their shots.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a catch-22 when you're down, right, John? You want to hustle, you want to try and do things quickly and try and get back into the game as fast as you can, but sometimes when you do that, you rush yourself, you get out of a rhythm, you do things you wouldn't normally do, and that's when you miss shots. And in such a rhythm game, it's everything that basketball is. It's all about timing and feeling your stroke and being perfect on such little margins for error. When you rush, sometimes you just take yourself out of it, and you can really do more harm than good.
Yeah, what I find, and this is across all sports, when you get down, people try to do everything. You try to you try to come back almost all on your own in an iso ball sort of a style, and you just need to play your position, play as a team, trust your teammates, and make this comeback.
Good ball movement here by the Lords early, and just like that, Dakota Kirby 2 for 2 from under the basket, 0 for 5 from out wide. Be interested to see if they make any adjustments here, Johnny, and see if drive the rim a little bit more here in this second quarter. And
once again, the Lords with another foul.
Yeah, you talked about it, Johnny. They want to stay out of foul trouble here in this second quarter. Do not want to go back into the bonus, but here they are, and already 22 seconds into this second quarter, they picked up their first foul. And a big three taken there by Bethany Milner, but just clanged off the rim and wide. Here is Dender with the ball. Dender moves it over to Cruikshank. Cruikshank moves it to Navarro. Navarro now with it. Navarro tries to shake the defender, moves it back to Kirby. Kirby with a hard move, kicks it out to Dender, but that's going to be a foul on the Colts.
Well, that's a pleasant turn of events there. A foul on the Colts as opposed to on the Lords. Side of the bounds there for the Lords. Chance to run a play in the offensive zone here.
Yeah, good ball work there by Kirby, as it's going to be Cruikshanks here with the throw and gives it right to Kirby. Kirby looks.
We've got a couple Lords on the trainer's bench now.
Looks like Victoria Brody and Katie and Owusu.
Shot clock violation by the Lords.
And that's just really disappointing right there, John. They come off, they get the foul, they draw the foul in the offensive zone, and then give up the ball. And shot clock violation, and just unable to take advantage of a real good opportunity. When you're down by 7, you have to turn those possessions into points.
Oh no, here we go again.
As it's going to be Cruikshanks here who picks up the second foul for the Lords in this second quarter. And what I think coach is really going to least like about these fouls, John, is none of them are good fouls. They're from outside the 3 area. They're in the middle of the court. None of them are battling under the basket for rebounds or stopping a driving defender. They're kind of ticky-tack, you should know better fouls.
Yeah, they're not on any shots really either. Like, I mean, if you're trying to defend an easy shot and you have to take the foul and it's a good foul, sure, but yeah, these fouls are on the outer edge or on the inbounds or just on a cross court pass, and it's not good for the Lords. They need to tighten up.
As it's Thompson now. Thompson moves it over to Mayaban. Mayaban sends up, and that's going to be 2 points for the Colts as they extend this lead here as a good first half, second quarter starts. But there is Maddie Dender from deep, all the way from Ajax.
Finally, some success for Dender from beyond the arc.
Dender lets a big 3 go there as the Lords try and claw some momentum in this second quarter. Dender kind of manhandled there by Mayaban. And a travel called there against the Colts.
I was worried that was going to be another foul on a non-shooting attempt, but luckily enough, that was just a travel, and it's Lord's ball. Lord's timeout for the Colts here.
Colts finally feeling a little bit of pressure as they call a timeout here, up 24-18, John. And after what was like rocky first minute and a half to this second quarter, it looks like the Lords have tried to draw on a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, it looks like they've settled down a little bit in this one. Hopefully they can take a breath and realize that they are just as good of a team as the Centennial Colts. And they can, if not a better team, I would say. And they can, play ball with them and play a team game like we've been stressing. None of this solo ball anymore. It's getting them in trouble, and hopefully the coach is talking them out of that right now.
Looking around the OCAA, Algonquin's the only team in the women's division who's played 2 games. They're 1-1. George Brown has undefeated after their first game, and so is Seneca. Georgian and St. Lawrence are the receivers of those losses. The only teams yet to play are Loyalist, Durham, and Centennial, and we know after tonight's game, one of Durham or Centennial is going to be tied top of the OCAA Women's East Region standings. Out west, U of T, Mississauga, and Fanshawe, along with Humber and Mohawk, all have 2 points. It's always interesting, Johnny, when you have divisions that are so unevenly balanced. You have 8 teams in the East, 10 in the West of this OCAA women's basketball.
Yeah, that's got to be interesting for the playoffs. I don't know how that exactly works, seeing as this is my first year calling this women's basketball. But normally you see a balanced East and West, but not in this league. It'd be interesting to see come the end of the year how that pans out.
Here's Brody now. Brody tries to swing it out wide, but it looks like it slipped out of her hand. That's going to be the ball for the Colts. These two teams won't play again, Johnny, till the very last game of the year. Tuesday, February 20th at Centennial is going to be the last game for both these teams as they bookend their season with each other. And it's going to be a long wait for redemption if you lose this first one.
Yeah, it's something that will sit and burn on you if you let this one get away, right? Especially seeing as you can't come right back and knock them down and get your spirits back up at the next game.
Here's Kirby, who's been on the floor for every minute of this game so far. Kirby with a nice move tries to find Emily Chamberlain, but that ball just bounces through her hands and out of bounds on the Lords. We're seeing more of Chamberlain in the second quarter after we really didn't see much of her after she came out of the game, John.
Yeah, I'm thinking the coach maybe gave her a talking to about how she was playing and just wanted her to get back to her normal game, being that big force underneath the net and getting those rebounds. I don't think that ball through her hands is going to be a common thing. I think that was just the pass just had too much fire on it.
Here's Parker now. Parker sends it up, but that's good defense there by the Lords, but Chamberlain unable to get the rebound. And that's 2 points for the Colts as it's once again, it's Kirby with the ball. Kirby, nice crossover there, drives the rim. Kirby sends it up and good for 2. Dakota Kirby really effective when driving the rim, John. It's going to be hard-pressed not to see more of that as this game moves on.
Yeah, I think if this is the trend at halftime, you're gonna get Coach talking to Kirby. I mean, like, listen, I love when you shoot from 3, but all the points are under the net tonight, so you got to keep doing that. Now, I don't understand how that wasn't a kickball there, Joey.
Yeah, it certainly looked like Colts player got their foot on the ball, but the referees didn't see it as we come on here. It's Ta with the ball. Ta sends it back to Kanata, Kanata moves in and tries to get the layup. And there's the good rebounding there by Chamberlain, but unable to come up with it as the Colts find a way to get that bouncing rebound. Here's
Shot clock coming down. She's going to have to haul this up.
There's 1 second left.
Shot clock violation by the Colts.
And their first shot clock violation there as they had offensive zone pressure there for a while, but the defense of the Lords really picking up here, John, and forcing that shot clock violation.
Yeah, that's important because they can have the ball in the offensive zone, but so long as you have every option covered, they can't shoot it, and then the 24-second will just run up.
Here is Kirby now. Kirby crisscrosses with Brody. Brody kicks that over 23, excuse me, not 33. Zaharia Gallimore. Gallimore sends that shot up, but Parker moves it back, and that is sent in. Right there by Kayla Pereira, making quick work of that fast break going up the other way off the Lords' offensive giveaway. Here's Brody now. Brody kicks it over to Kirby. Kirby drives again and picks up the foul there as she was held going up for that shot. She's going to take 2 from the line as once again we see good work from Dakota Kirby making things happen down low, not just from outside the 3-point area.
So we got Emily Glendenning coming in now. We'll see who she's coming in for. Coming in for Zaharia Gallimore.
As Kirby looks more and more comfortable here, making her first attempt here at the free throw line. Free throw line, easy for me to say.
Yeah, you'll get those enunciations eventually. There isn't no free throw line in soccer, Joey.
We'll get there, we'll get there. Speaking of soccer, UOIT plays their first playoff game tomorrow night right here at the beautiful Durham Oshawa campus in North Oshawa on Simcoe Street. That game is set for 8 o'clock right here at Vaso Field. I will be on the call for that.
Should be interesting as UOIT plays their first playoff game.
Here's Glendenning. Glendenning moves it across to Brody, but that pass just too high for Brody. And it's going to be out of bounds on the Lords.
It's a 6-point game here, Joey, and if the Lords want to make a comeback before half and make this thing close, they need to get some turnovers.
They've done a good job here, I think, John. They've cut the lead to only 6 again.
Big steal there.
Here's Kirby. Kirby with a nice play there off the steal, as you mentioned, John. Goes down. Good work protecting the ball. Kisses that off the backboard for 2+1 here. And she's going to shoot a free throw, as Kirby really seems to have come alive here in this second half of this second quarter.
And it seems the foul trouble has turned around on the Colts, as they now have 4 team fouls in this quarter. One more and the Lords will be in the bonus. Chamberlain is just subbed out for Keisha Arthurworthy, I believe.
Arthurworthy is correct, sir. And here is the shot up. Oh, and that one not Kirby's best.
That was ugly. That was an air ball from the free throw line.
Not her best stroke of the night. Just when we give her a little bit of praise up here, John, she does that to us. But the Lords now only have a 4-point deficit here, as they've certainly tightened things up here in this second quarter.
Yeah, if I'm the Lords, I'm definitely going to the rack and trying to get that 5th team foul on the Colts.
And that ball hits off the foot of Carmelia Turner, bounces down, and it's going to be a Lords ball here off a kick ball. And the Lords really trying to gain momentum here. 4:32 remaining in this second quarter, down by 4. Real opportunity to come down here and tie this game up very shortly, John. Here,
yeah, this is a key point right now in the game.
For sure. Here is Glendenning with it now at the top. Moves it over to Brody. Brody cuts in. Brody with a nice striking play there, cutting through the defense of these Colts and cutting their lead down to 2. Here is Ta. Ta has been so good from 3 all night long, but that one clanks off the rim. Unable to get the rebound was the Colts, but that's going to be Olivia Thompson unable to put it in.
Player on the court.
As it looks like Thompson's still down on the far side, as she's slowly making her way over to her own zone. And over underneath the rim is Dakota Kirby feeling it a little bit after she went up, trying to make the play offensively there. But she's going to go back to the line. It looks like they're going to have their 5th team foul in this quarter against the Colts.
Coach seems to be unhappy about something.
I was just about to say that, John. Heather LaFontaine really not looking pleased with the officials standing there, not really understanding how that wasn't a foul call against the Colts, as we saw Dakota Kirby go flying underneath the rim. And Miller tries to jack that 3.
I would just let the Colts continue to shoot themselves in the foot from 3, because they seem to have some sort of false confidence.
It's kind of been looks like a bit of a switch here, John. In the first quarter, it was the Lords jacking 3s, missing them, not getting good rebounds. And Centennial built up that lead, and now it's the Colts who are taking 3s and not making them, and the Lords are rebounding as Brody sends a 3 up.
Big steal there by the Lords.
Oh, and a 3 from Maddie Dender. Dender with a nice looking 3 as the Lords take their first lead of the game, 29-28 over the Colts.
It's a big bounce back there by the Lords, and I'm proud of them because they've played a tough game. They were down early. They were under the bus. They could have just given up on this game and continued to play the way they were playing, and they've come out on fire. I think the coach's message has been loud and clear.
Dender again from three. Back-to-back threes from Dender. And the Lord's really starting to shake here as the crowd's starting to get into it here at the CRWC.
Huge block.
And
the
big
men's
plays.
team like that block.
Yeah, for sure, John. These guys are getting into it. The Lords have some momentum for the first time all night, and the atmosphere is picking up here inside the gym.
My goodness, I've never seen a Fruitopia container look so small, but it was in Funcho's hands.
Funcho DeMeggi, the monster for the Lords men's team. You're going to see him later tonight as he looks to come back after a huge performance on the weekend, right, John?
Yeah, he had a great game. He led the Lords. He had 24 points at half.
Wow, it's tough to do that. That's a hot hand early in the first half of a basketball game. It's going to be Lord's ball here underneath the Colts basket. Kicks it out. Here's Kirby, moves it over. Dender again. Dender
She's feeling it, man.
Makes a couple threes. Lord's trying not to get stuck in that three-ball trap. But they're up 32-28 with 2:20 remaining in this second quarter. So that basket's not going to count as there was a foul called against the Lords on that pass play.
That's their third team foul. And that'll be the fourth foul for, who was that?
I believe it was Caitlin Cruikshank got the foul. She's subbing out now.
She's getting close to fouling out of this game, and coach has to be worried because that's your big rebounder underneath the hoop.
Cruikshank, who was strong early with a couple big three-pointers. But that's Bethany Miller, driving to the rim.
Apologies, sorry, that's Chamberlain who's under the rim, not Cruikshank. Lords with a great play there, Joey.
And Alicia Navarro just capitalizing on real good ball movement underneath the basket and continuing to put pressure on late in the second quarter. Here's Ta with a nice move to the net. Good rebound there by Parker. Parker again, keep unstoppable there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rebounds.
Parker's playing American by herself and no one's playing any defense.
Caitlin Cruikshank unable to go up against Tony Parker. Parker on a very good individual effort there, going after that basketball, relentless effort. And she's going to shoot two after this timeout for the Colts, John.
Yeah, well, during this timeout, I'd like to remind everybody that you can catch the Jake and John Show live on Riot Radio Wednesdays and Fridays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., where we will have all of your updates on all the local sports, your Durham Lords, as well as NFL, MLB, NBA, and NHL updates. Everything you're looking for, come listen to me and my co-host, Jake Radford, talk it up for an hour, 9 to 10 a.m., riotradio.ca.
Check it out. Those two guys kill it on Riot Radio. One of the most viewed shows on the station, and you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not tuning in and checking it out. John, where can they catch you?
You can go to www.riotradio.ca to watch us live, or if you don't have the time, you're a little busy, I get we're on early, you can catch us logged at ustream.tv and just search up The Jake and John Show. We always have links out on our Twitter page and our Facebook. So we're always pushing the show out there, Joey. You can catch it almost anywhere on campus.
And the Twitter is at The Jake and John Show, correct?
Yes, it's at RR Jake and John Show, but show is spelled SHO because Twitter wouldn't let me use too many letters. And that's Twitter for you.
Those damn restrictions on Twitter, eh?
Well, here's Parker at the line to shoot two. Good form from Parker on her first.
1:39 remaining here in this first half, John.
Both teams with 4 fouls now, too. So
4 fouls, yep. It's going to be a very interesting $1:39 left.
Parker made both those, and now it's a 4-point game for the Lords.
Here's Kirby. Kirby driving to the rim all by herself, but unable to take advantage. Steal there by Brody and kissed off the glass by Arthurworthy as she redeems herself for unable to make a defensive rebound. Makes a nice play there off the pass from Brody and extends this lead to 6.
That was a mistake by the Colts, I think.
Given away by the Colts, but that ball goes off Arthurworthy and out of bounds.
Yeah, the Colts there tried to save a ball that was going to be their side of the bounds anyway, so.
Oh, excuse me there, John. I thought that ball went off Arthurworthy, but it's going to be a Lord's throw-in.
Yeah, I think the ref deemed that the Colts pushed Arthurworthy and forced the turnover, or forced the ball out of bounds.
Good eye, John, good eye. Here's Navarro now. Navarro fouled there by Bethany Miller.
Now that is the 5th team foul, so it should be at the line. And it is.
The Lords are really going to try and take advantage of this. Being in the, well, the Colts are in the penalty here, excuse me, with this last minute to play in this first half.
Yeah, this is going to be key. You got to make all these shots from the line here. I will say this on my show. I will say this on this broadcast. You can get killed from this line if you don't make these shots. You don't have a defender in your face there. You don't have to worry about time or a shot clock. And a big steal there by the Lords.
Lords, big steal, and Glendenning, the recipient of a very nice play there by Navarro, as all of a sudden this lead is up to 10 for the Lords over the Colts. Here is Maya Ben. Maya Ben sends that up and makes it for 2, as that's going to be out of bounds on
Parker.
Off Parker. So it's going to be Lord's ball here with 40 seconds remaining. None other than Dakota Kirby with the ball. Throws it to Navarro. Navarro 1-on-1 against Kanada. Here's Owusu. Owusu sends it.
Too strong.
Just a little too much power on there from just back of the free throw line. And a nice defensive play there off the tip by Dakota Kirby, getting that ball away from the cherry picking, I want to say, Judy Ta, who after a real strong first quarter has been quiet for the Colts. Here is Parker now with it. Parker moves it to Mayaban. Mayaban drives the rim hard, blows past Victoria Brody.
The Lords need to hold this for last possession here. They've got the lead, and they're doing, well, they got the foul call. That's good, but I don't like that, because if you stand on the line, you pass it around, you give the Colts less chance to make any more points this half and put them down going back into the dressing room. A little bit upset that they let this one get away from them.
Yeah, for sure. Brody takes advantage of a quick situation there, and she steps up and drains her first one from the line.
I always like those fast break points, but not when you have the last possession of the quarter.
Sometimes you just got to take a breath and relax and see if they'll draw the foul, but obviously Brody not paying attention to what we're saying up here. She goes 1 for 2 from the line. Has 5 seconds left on the clock. Here is Ta. Ta drives the basket hard and kisses that one off the backboard and in. As Brody sends one half court, but that doesn't come close, as we are at halftime here. The score is 41-36 in favor of the home Durham Lords. Maddie Dender with daggers for threes with Dakota Kirby and help from Victoria Brody have brought this team back from a big first quarter deficit.
We're going to do a little bit of a little tournament here, a little contest here, a shoot for cash, and I'm seeing some of the Durham Lords men's team put their hands up. I do not think that they qualify for this.
I think they would very much like to be involved, but we are going to go for our halftime here at the CRWC. We'll be back in just under 15 minutes with the second half. Once again, the score is Durham 41, Centennial 36. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CRWC here in beautiful North Oshawa, the home of the Durham Lords. We have a nail-biter of a basketball game for you in our first half of our Lords doubleheader this evening. After 2 quarters, it is Durham 41, Centennial 36. And a big first half there for the Lords, led by Dakota Kirby. The starter played almost every second of that first half, playing 19:44 with a game-high 10 points. She struggled early from 3, as we mentioned during the broadcast, going 0 for 3 from 3, but really picked it up with going 2 for 3 at the line and 4 from 10 from the field. For the Colts, Yasmin Smith has really been the difference maker for them. The 5'8" Cambridge, Ontario native leads the team with 9 points in a surprisingly little, only 13:22 of play. John, what stood out for you in that first half?
What stood out for me is the fact that the Lords could bounce back from a poor first quarter, a very poor first quarter too. To be able to go into the half with the lead, I mean, I guarantee Coach went into that dressing room and was like, "Do not get high on yourself for going into this half with a lead, because we're lucky. It was hard work that got us that luck, but you need to keep up with that hard work." And the Colts with a quick steal here to start the second half.
That was number 32, Camelia Turner, with the points there. Turner.
Oh, that's good. That's nice to see there.
Turner with 7 points in the first half. As
Chamberlain got some points from
Chamberlain
underneath the rim.
puts that up. And as the back and forth continues here early in this second half, here's Navarro coming up the court with the ball. Navarro moves it over to Kirby. Kirby lets a deep 3 go. And that one bounces wide off the rim, and a good rebound there by Turner.
Yeah, that one was a little bit too deep. I think she had time to maybe take a couple steps in, or at least one step in, and make that shot a little bit more achievable. We got to travel here on the Colts, so it'll be Lord's ball again.
Bethany Miller shaking her head after she double-stepped there with the ball. She knew it right away. The entire building saw it, and it's going to be the Lords coming back up the court as it's Kirby with the ball now. Kirby moves it over to Chamberlain. Chamberlain sends it to Dender. Dender cuts in. Dender kisses that off the glass for 2. And Dender continues her strong performance. Dender with a solid first half, putting up 9 points for the Lords. 2 from 4 from the 3-point line, 3 for 7 from the field. Only going to the line once, but 50% at the line. And only 12:05 of play for the starter, Dender. As it's going to be Lord's ball here. Yasmin Smith picks up her 3rd foul of the game. Her first foul for either team in this second half, John. As we saw a lot of penalty and foul trouble in that first half. Both teams going to the bonus in each court in separate quarters.
It's a nice move there by Alyssa Navarro to drive the lane there and get that quick 2. The Lords, I find, are walking a tightrope here. They got Chamberlain in with 4 personal fouls of her own. She could foul out in this if she's not careful. The Lords with the rebound there, and they're moving back up the court, Joey.
That pass looking for Dender from the hands of Kirby. Just unable to find her there, going right into the Lords bench. There's a bunch of substitutions come in here for the Colts as they go a 3-pack of subs. Here's Turner. Turner sends it over to Parker. Parker back to Turner. A little miscommunication there as Maya Band sends that ball up. And unable to get the basket, but draws the foul here. She's going to go to the line. It's going to be the first foul for the Lords in this third quarter. It's going to be going against number 24.
I have a feeling this is the kind of game we're going to
Chamberlain.
be in for, Joey. It's going to be foul, foul, foul. It's going to depend on who's going to get in the worst foul trouble as the game goes on.
Yeah, both teams, you know that was going to be a big conversation at halftime, John, just trying not to pick up so many early fouls and stay out of the bonus. Because going to the line a lot late in this game could make all the difference. As it's still a very close basketball game, as right now the score is 47-41 for the Lords.
Chamberlain going to the line for 2. I believe that's Chamberlain.
That is Chamberlain. You got it, you got it. We're working our way through here, folks, too. We're trying to get all the players down.
Yeah, it's our first game, too.
It's our first game, too. It's not just the opener for the players on the court, but for me and John. But we're going to be with you all year long with the Lords men's and women's basketball teams. So
should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting year. We may not have school, but we have this.
Yeah, we got collegiate sports, and that's what matters, right?
Hey, no teachers here. It's going to be Chamberlain and Parker fighting for the ball.
The Lords.
That's moved up to Dender. Dender cuts in, and Dender fouled hard there.
Rightfully so. I thought the ref wasn't going to call that one for a second, but I was just reacting too soon, I guess, before the whistle could be blown.
It's Pereira picking up her first foul, and the third for the Colts here in this third quarter, as already they're in some difficulty in the foul column. As the Lords are on pace to match their offensive output from every preseason game. As we mentioned earlier, John, struggling to find offense, only putting up 77 points as their preseason high. As a nice play there by Mayaban driving to the net, but already at 49 with 6:40 remaining in this third quarter, John. They have a good opportunity to surpass that 77-point mark as Dender lets a 3 go from deep.
She ended up on her butt, too. I wonder if there might have been a foul there.
Looked like she kicked her legs out looking for a little bit of contact, but unable to draw the call from the officials was Dender. As we see Parker below the rim fighting for rebounds, as we saw that fantastic play from Parker in the first half where she out-rebounded Chamberlain underneath the net for not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 rebounds, and which looks awfully good on the stat sheet as Parker makes her first one there.
Too many words. You got choked up there.
We're fighting through, John. We're fighting through. As Parker goes 2 for 2 from the line there, cutting this Lord's lead to just 4.
And I do need to make a correction. We have been calling, we have been saying that that Parker got those boards, but it was actually Yasmin Smith.
Yasmin Smith with the boards.
Yes, she has 4 offensive rebounds and 3 defensive rebounds. It's number 12 and number 10. They kind of look a lot alike, so give us a little break on that one.
We strive for perfection here. Up top here in the broadcast booth, we will work
as Dender just
to make
slipped.
sure it's all the same.
We're going to have to check and make sure there's nothing on the court there.
Dender's been on the ground a couple times here in this third quarter. And that's going to be, I'm not quite sure what the...
That was a travel.
It was a travel there against the Colts. It's going to be Lord's ball here with just under 6 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Scores 49-45 in favor of the home Lords. Here is Kirby making her way up the court. Kirby working hard against Pereira. Strong move there by Kirby, but just unable to get it high enough and into the basket as Dender comes flying into Mayaban as she sets that open court pick in the defensive zone. Here's Pereira. Pereira tries to kick it out. It's
shot clock down here. If I'm the Lords, I'm pressuring.
Ta with the ball. Ta gets it up just before that shot clock expires. Ta gets her own rebound. Ta sends that one way up and over the net. And somehow that doesn't go out of bounds, even though it hit the very top of the backboard and down. Dender, fast break the other way. Good rebound there by Glendenning. Glendenning kicks it out to Kirby. Kirby sends a deep 3.
Oh, that looked good.
Looked good from where we were, John, but just unable to find her range from 3 is Dakota Kirby.
Dender looks a little hobbled right now to me, Joey. I hope she's okay. She's moving a little slow on the court, so maybe that's just a way to sucker the Colts in because she just makes a huge layup.
No signs of an injury there, John, as Blue Shoes Maddie Dender flying up the court, receives a very nice pass and makes no mistake putting that layup in off the backboard and in. Here's Pereira again. Pereira moves it over to Parker. Parker kicks that out to Ta, but that's going to be a foul.
Looks like an offensive foul, Lord's ball.
Yeah, against the Centennial Colts. And
Dender is leaving the game. We'll see if she just needs a rest.
Head coach for the Colts, Justin Bobb, not going to be happy with that offensive foul. This Colts team needs to pick it up in the second half if they're going to claw back and tie this game. Here's Brody with the ball. Brody makes a nice move, drives in hard. Not able to pick up the foul there as she's unable to put that ball in the basket, and the Colts come up the other way.
Looks like the trainer's talking to Dender.
Navarro with some hard defense as that three is put up and drained there by Ta.
Nothing but net.
Judy Ta, who I could...
Wide open for the Lords, though. Oh, man.
Ta, who I would have bet a lot of money, made a couple threes in that first half, according to our crack staff down at our stats booth, was 0 for 3 from 3, but a couple deep twos. And that is her first three-pointer of the night, and a big one, cutting this Lord's lead to 3. Quickly moved up there by Glendenning. Glendenning to Kirby. Kirby with it now. Good defense here from Turner. As an errant pass there, and the Colts come up the court. As a bit of a sloppy back and forth effort here, as Ta sends up another three.
And she's fouled behind the line to shoot 3. That is not good.
I think that's going to be Victoria Brody picking up a foul there. It's going to be 3 shots, as you mentioned, John, for Ta, with an opportunity to tie this game up with 3:28 remaining in this third quarter. Behind the line, behind the arc, fouls are always tough ones to give, eh, John?
Yeah, man. I mean, fouls are a part of the game, but fouling someone from three-point range, it's just, you're always going to get into a mess because, one, if they make it, that's a 4-point play, which is almost like you never see. And 2, if they don't make it, you're giving them a very easy look to get those 3 points, especially to tie the game. Messy, messy, messy.
As Tom makes her first 2, the third one to tie it, and she makes it. And all of a sudden, it's a tie ball game here as the Lords and the Colts are tied 51-51 with 3:28 remaining in this third quarter. There's a couple substitutions here as it looks like it's Navarro coming out of the game for the Lords. Arthurworthy coming in. Here's Brody now. Brody tries to teardrop that, and yeah,
roll. Didn't work.
Just not getting enough of that. Maybe a Colts player got a finger on that, but Brody's got to have better protection of the ball there. Here's Parker underneath the basket. Parker trying to go up for that rebound, but big Emily Glendenning using all 5'10" there to pick up that defensive rebound. Here is Kirby. Kirby coming up the floor. Kirby looks off everybody, but makes it as she puts that layup in. As all of a sudden the Lords are back in the lead and playing a quick, high-tempo game that you know that they want to play. Here is Ta. Ta tries to find Parker underneath the basket, but unable to, as another real good play by Glendenning as she steals that ball. She moves it to Kirby. Kirby sets the jumper, and Kirby just misses there.
Too strong again. I think that the Colts are going to be putting the ball in Ta's hands. It seems like they're trying to get it there every offensive possession.
Ta seems to be the shooter for the Colts, that is for sure, as it's going to be out of bounds there on Glendenning as she made a nice diving stab at the ball trying to intercept it, but just not able to get control, and that goes off her foot and out of bounds. Right into the concession booth where you can buy pretty much anything you want according to our boss Chris Cameron. You got hot dogs, you got burgers, popcorn.
Home of the famous Durham dog. I have no idea what that is,
Durham
folks,
dog.
but apparently it's good.
You got Charmaine in that group down there cooking away. I trust him, I guess. I'm not quite sure if I'm down for a Durham dog up here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go with the backup goalie routine and a couple dogs while watching the game.
You know, we got a 45-minute break between games. You never know, John. We might find ourselves down there. As the Lords look to play some defense here, as it's Yasmin Smith, Cambridge, Ontario native, just shooting wide there, putting too much on that and off the backboard, as it's Kirby who gives that ball away. Here's
for
Parker.
The fast break. That's
Smith,
Smith,
excuse me, Smith. We're gonna get it. As
big
Smith,
defensive stop there by the Lords, man.
huge stop there. As that looked like it was number 23, Gallimore, who's gonna take the foul there, but oh, no foul there, excuse me, as she just makes a strong defensive play.
Yeah, that was all ball. It's just out of bounds, and it looks like they have 18 seconds on the shot clock.
As Dender comes in here, has a rare break for Dakota Kirby, who played all but 16 seconds in that first half. Finally comes out of this third quarter with a $1:50 left. As we are tied up again here, John.
Good to see Maddie Dender out there. I was a little worried that she might have been injured, but it's good to see her back out there. Good to see Blue Shoes out there.
Definitely winning the award for best shoes on the team, Maddie Dender, the Baby Blues, kicking around. And from three, you know, it gives the referees a good look to know that she's behind that arc and burying those 3-pointers. As Brody here with the throw-in. Moves it to Dender. Dender from deep three.
It's a weak one, though. That was air. Fortunately, she couldn't. I think she was too far away to make that, and she couldn't move in on the play, because if she did, it was going to get blocked.
Yeah, it was a deep three there, John, from a couple feet past the arc, and you know that might be one she wants back. She probably had a little bit more time than that, but rushed and got that ball away and didn't come away with points. Has a battle underneath the basket there as Emily Chamberlain putting up some strong defense, but taking the foul.
And this is the 4th team foul for the Lords. It's a good thing, though, we only got 1:22 left in this quarter, because they're getting close to that bonus again.
What's been real impressive to me, John, is the Colts have had 3 fouls on the board for almost 5-6 minutes here. We talked about staying disciplined and not getting into foul trouble. They got into a little bit early in this third quarter, but have managed to find a way to keep the Lords off the line.
They've also just taken the lead.
As they take the lead at the free throw line, as you mentioned, that's going to be out of bounds on the Lords, as the Colts really pushing here late in this third quarter.
This is kind of what happened in the last preseason game that I had seen. The Lords took a lead into half, and then they were unable to secure the win. They played a little bit of poor defense in the second half. We got Maddie Dender going to talk to the coach again. We'll see what coach has to say. Well, I guess we won't see what coach has to say, but we'll try and see on the court what coach had to say.
My guess it has something to do with stop taking fouls, as the Lords are now in the bonus with their 5th team foul. And
sorry, the Colts are in the bonus. The Lords are in the penalty.
Lords are in the penalty with 1:18 left in this quarter, as they've just given away points at the free throw line, as now the Colts have a 2-point lead. Here's Brody. Brody streaking in. Brody, nice pass there. Finds number 23, Gallimore, and Gallimore makes no mistake on the layup, tying this game up at 55 with 1 minute remaining in this third quarter.
Need a big turnover here, Joey.
Here's Kanata. Kanata moves it over to Mayaban. Mayaban back to Pereira. Pereira moves it to Kanata, and Kanata just not able to put that in, as Brody on the fast break up, but that was a good hand in there by number 23, Kayla Pereira. And it's going to be white ball here with 37 seconds remaining. Tie game at 55-55.
If they do this right, and if the Colts don't, the Lords could end this quarter with 2 possessions towards the basket.
Lots of time, 24 seconds on the shot clock, 37 on the game clock. Brody here with the ball, moves it to Owusu. Owusu moves it back, across to Denner. Denner, good ball movement here by the Lords, but Brody looking there for Gallimore, but unable to find her, as Brody gives that ball away to number 10, Yasmin Smith. A 3 attempt here from Bethany Miller, but Miller unable to get there as the little Dender fights that ball loose, and Dender goes up to the rim. But that ball, good defense there.
Good job by the Lords getting those points.
But Glendenning being relentless on the ball and putting that ball in the basket as the clock winding down here in this third quarter. That's going to be out of bounds there on
the Colts, but there's no time left on the clock, so if I'm the Lords here, I don't even throw one up.
7 seconds. Bang, bang. Oh, she gets it off, but not enough on it. There was Glendenning. And after 3 quarters of play here, the Lords lead the Colts 57-55 in what is a back and forth game here at the CRWC.
Yeah, Joey, I don't understand why players throw those shots up with no time left and over half the court to go. I understand that this isn't a solo stat, like a stat-based game, but if you can't make that shot, then don't bother throwing it up because you're just ruining your stats. You're putting another missed shot on your numbers, and it just doesn't look good at the end of the year.
But, you know, if they make it, you know, Scott Dennis and Chris Cameron are going to clip that, and that's going right on the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. Look what Maddie Dender did, or look what, in that case, look what Emily Glendenning did. It makes a half quarter to end the third quarter. You know, they're all liking being featured on social media and being those highlight plays, but I hear you, John. You're not going to make them. It just looks bad on the stat sheet. It just goes down as a miss for you and your team.
Yeah, and on top of that, a missed three-pointer.
That's another fair point. 10 minutes, 1 quarter remaining here in this season opener for the Lords.
Should be interesting fourth quarter here, Joey. I think that the Colts are going to come out on fire, and the Lords are going to have to sustain some pressure here and be able to put some points on the board.
It's going to be interesting to watch players like Judy Ta and Dakota Kirby, the minutes leaders for their respective teams, how much they play in this fourth quarter, how much gas they have left. Each of them have now played over 20-25 minutes in this game.
Maddie Dender leading the Lords with 14 points tonight.
Dender, a couple clutch threes, a couple daggers. She's been doing it from inside the paint, outside the arc. She really does it all for this Lords team, despite being the smallest woman on the team, listed at 5'2". The year 3 player from Ajax can ball. She doesn't care about size. She's putting it up and playing a very strong game in this opener for the Lords. As Bethany Miller, who continues to be aggressive, trying to force turnovers for this Colts team, almost got herself another one there.
Looks like we have a foul here.
Foul, it looks like it's going to go against the Colts. It's going to be Lord's ball. Tony Parker. Not a huge lineup for the Colts, as a very nice set play there from Brody to Glendenning off that throw-in to reestablish a 2-point lead here for the Lords.
That's the third Lord in double digits in points now.
Got to move the ball around if you're going to put up points, as Tom makes a nice play there despite being fouled hard.
She looks hurt.
She landed awfully hard there on the hardwood, but
yeah,
somehow
her team
managed
came over
to
to celebrate, and she's like, no, back up.
So it's going to be Glendenning here picking up the foul, as Taz going to take a shot here, try and make it a 3-point play and retake the lead for the Colts. Let's go with retake, not re-give.
Yeah, I was going to say, re-give sounds weird. It's almost like re-gifting something you get at Christmas.
I may or may not do that often, Johnny. I'm not going to lie to you.
Not a big fan of socks, are you, Joey?
I love socks, but it's the old video games, or sometimes everybody loves a gift card, but you can always re-gift them. As
Dender with a nice finger roll look there, but she couldn't make it drop.
$9:10 remaining here in this fourth quarter. We are locked at 59s.
Lords need a defensive stop here, I think. They need to get this lead back.
A nice give and go play there with Tony Parker and Kanata, but unable to capitalize there. As the Lords have to be careful here. Already 2 fouls as they do a double substitution, and none other than Dakota Kirby checking back into the game.
Kirby, the second leading scorer of tonight's game with 12 points. See if she can add to that total.
Brody slices through the defense there, and a nice finger roll off the backboard and in. As Brody continues to turn up the pressure here and continues her strong play as this game goes on.
Parker with the ball there. We got to travel.
Parker travels.
It seems that's a problem with the Colts. Not so much with the Lords. I've seen a lot of travels though called on Centennial tonight.
That's their 4th or 5th, that's for sure. Gallimore with a real good defense there, forcing that travel. As she's come on and been a real strong force off the bench for the Lords so far today. Here is Kirby. Kirby slices through, tries to do it herself, but unable to get it past the wall of defenders. As the ball is quickly moved up the top, but a great defensive effort there by Maddie Dender to come back and force that ball out of bounds.
Dender's doing it all.
From all sides of the court, Maddie Dender's really been a standout here for the Lords this evening. This is Turner with the throw in. Turner looking for Yasmin Smith. Lucky they didn't go over and back there, as a real strong drive to the net by Mayaban, and it's going to be Gallimore, who picks up the foul there.
That's the third now. We are only less than 2 minutes into this 4th quarter. The Lords do not want to get into foul trouble in this quarter because that will be the downfall.
They did a much better job in the 2nd and 3rd quarters and not going into the penalty. But in this 4th quarter, you know it's going to be physical. It's a very close game right now at 61-60. That could be the difference, John, getting into the penalty and giving easy points away to the other team. As Glendenning almost gives that ball away. As this defense for the Colts has kind of swarmed the Lords and kept them in their own zone here for the last minute.
Yeah, well, the Colts just took another foul, so that evens up the total a little bit. It's 3-2 right now. 3 fouls for the Lords and 2 for the Colts. So hopefully the Lords can draw a few more fouls here and even up this game.
The Colts playing the aggressive 2-1-2 and force another turnover there.
That was Kirby with the turnover.
As Tender almost steals that ball away, as I don't know if she stole it or if it was just misplayed by Kanata. But, and a nice steal there by Brody as she jumps up and pinpoint catches that and races down the court for 2 as Victoria Brody starts her 4th quarter strong with 4 points.
Coach aggressively calling a timeout. Coach of the Colts aggressively calling a timeout. Almost came out on the court on that one.
Justin Bob not happy with what he's seeing so far from his team. What I've really noticed about Maddie Dender, John, is
her blue shoes?
Well, besides the blue shoes, just the way she doesn't give up on plays.
Yeah,
she's always hustling
bulldog.
Up and down the court. I really think that's how she's become so successful at only 5'2". The little things like being there defensively, running up and down the court has really separated her from her teammates tonight.
Yes, being aggressive defensively too. Not just coming back defensively, but being aggressive on those steal attempts and making the Colts make quick passes, not smart passes.
As there's 7:43 remaining in this 4th quarter, the Lords with only a 3-point lead over the visiting Centennial Colts. The next home game for the Colts is not till...
You mean the Lords, right?
For the Lords, excuse me. For the Lords is not all the way until Friday, November 17th when they take on St. Lawrence right here at the CRWC.
The men play here a little bit sooner than that, but seems like you're not going to get to spend too much time with us in the early part of the season, as the Lords will go on a road trip.
A long road trip to start the season too, John. 1, 2, 3, 4 games on the road starting this Saturday against Algonquin.
Well, hopefully they can come back with a winning record and better their last season's efforts.
Only increases the importance of this opener here at home, John. 4 games on the road. You want to take advantage of your home court, your home fans, and your home broadcasters, of course. As Glendenning with a very nice play as she continues to be strong under the boards.
Yeah, that's her 13th point of the game.
She's securely in double digits, and without her, this game would not be nearly as close, as that's really been the big change for Coach Lafont. She's taken out Crookshank, brought in Glendenning. Victoria Brody also not in the starting lineup, but she's been seeing the field a lot more, or the court, excuse me, a lot more. Especially, I don't think she's come off the court since halftime, as she's been on this entire fourth quarter, and I'm sure she was on the entire third as well. Here she is now with the ball. Brody cuts in, kisses it off the glass just too hard as Gallimore tries to go up for the rebound, but Glendenning, excuse me, comes away with it. Moves to Dender. Dender from 3!
A little bit weak on that one.
And Dender just not enough, as you said, Johnny, as that one clanks off the front part of the rim and out. Here's Ta moves it over to Miller. Good ball movement by the Colts as a 3 taken there from deep, but unable to come away with it there, as a very good rebound there by Glendenning. Glendenning quickly moves it up to Brody, and Brody makes no mistake as she increases this Lord's lead to 7 with 6 minutes left.
Brody is playing out of her mind right now.
Brody has been a bright spot off the bench for this Lord's team, that is for sure.
Seems all the offense is coming from 4 players. Dender with 14, Kirby with 12, Glendenning with 13. And unfortunately, I don't have Brody's total, but she's had at least 6, if not 8 points this half.
Oh, for sure. Brody, who was at 9 at halftime, I would venture to say she's almost doubled that so far in this second half of this game, as she's really picked up the slack that after it seems like Dender's cooled off a little bit, so has Dakota Kirby, and it's been all Victoria Brody for this Lord's team, and it's only fitting considering I'm looking at her picture on the game day brochure right now. Victoria Brody, second-year player out of Scarborough at 5'8". She's a good-sized guard, and she's really shown the ability to carry this Lord's team for stretches here, John.
Yeah, not only offensively has she been strong, Joey, but she's been strong defensively, forcing the Colts into tough situations and turning the ball over when Dender has forced the Colts to make bad passes. It always seems that Brody's right there to pick it off.
Shouldn't be surprised with Kirby's, or with Brody's production so far early in this year, excuse me. Last year, coming off the bench in her first year, she had averaged 8 points a game, 2 rebounds, an assist a game. She was good for a steal or 2, and she's really taken advantage of the offensive gap left by Lindsay Panchan and Kayla Marshall, the 2 leading scorers for the Lords, as we mentioned last year, no longer with the team. And it looks like it's going to be Brody, Dender, and Kirby who really step up for the Lords. At least that's what it's been so far in this season opener.
Don't forget Glendenning too.
Glendenning's really come up big. Cannot forget her, as she's come up big beneath the rim and on both sides beneath the rim, and putting up valuable points. As you said, she has 13 for the Lords. Here is Kirby now with it. Kirby leaves it for Brody. Brody moves it to Glendenning. Glendenning back to Kirby. Kirby from 3 lets it go and makes it. Dakota Kirby with her first 3 of the night.
And her 15th point.
And 15 points for Dakota Kirby. As that is a dagger there with 5:27 remaining as the Lords have regained a 10-point lead.
And the Lords are now in the foul trouble as the Colts are in the bonus with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game. This is trouble, Joey.
Yeah, 5:27 is a lot of time to be in the penalty here, but the Colts have had some trouble making their free throws. But it does not seem to be the case here as Yasmin Smith stepping up and drains that first one. And that's going to be the difference here with less than 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this game, John, is who's going to make the shots and who's going to make the free throws when given the opportunity at the line.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The line is going to be the dagger here in this game, and I hope it's not a dagger to the Lords. I want to see the Lords come and start this season with a win. It would definitely be great to see that.
As Brody and Turner get tied up there, and it's going to be a Lords ball here as they say it was Turner who's hanging on to that ball. Brody, who continues her ferocious pace here in this second half, finds Glendenning as she's fouled under the basket, and that's going to be the 3rd team foul for the Colts here in this 4th quarter as they are only 2 away from the penalty.
This is going to be important here. She needs to make both these.
She's paying attention to you, Johnny, as she drains that first one is Glendenning.
Yeah, when you're given free points or the opportunity to get free points, you have to take that every single time. And a horrible, well, not a horrible miss, but a miss on the second attempt there, and it's tough to swallow for the Lords. They're up by 9 points, but being in the foul, that could go away quick.
Here's Dender with the steal, but Dender just muscled off that ball by Turner, using her size.
Yeah, that's one area where her size is a disadvantage.
And that ball is sent up, and the Colts aggressively trying to rebound underneath the net. It's Smith and Parker, as that's going to be Yasmin Smith draining that 2-point shot as we are less than 5 minutes remaining here in this 4th quarter. The score is 71-64 in favor of the Lords, and Dakota Kirby regains this 9-point lead for the Lords as she strikes in there and makes that layup count, but not to be outdone by Yasmin Smith as all of a sudden a bit of a shootout breaking out here in this 4th quarter as back and forth teams not missing their opportunities as we have some wide open basketball going on here, John.
Yeah, we've got some fast break points going on here, and I think the Lords need to realize that and shut it down. Dender with the 3, though. Too strong.
Dender hasn't been able to hit back-to-back threes since her first 2 of the night. She's having trouble finding her stroke consistently. It could have something to do with the fact that she keeps shooting from way beyond the arc, as she's not afraid to let that ball go from 2-3 feet beyond the 3-point line.
Yeah, take a step in, 2 steps in, make that shot a better percentage.
Here's Miller now with the ball. Miller moves it across to Mayaban. Mayaban drives hard to the basket again, as that's a big collision underneath the rim between Mayaban and Brody.
It looks like she may have got the wind knocked out of her there.
And Victoria Brody going to take the foul there. Not unsurprising after that collision below the rim.
We have a trainer coming out. It seems like she may actually be injured. It may be more than just the wind.
Mayaban just lying there on the court. Seems to be in some pain. As we have 3:35 remaining in this 4th quarter. Win or lose, John, it's going to be a very successful debut for Emily Glendenning as a Lord. First-year player making her presence known on both sides of the court, doing it all for the Lords here this evening, and has really put herself in a position to step up and take some of that offense that we know isn't going to be there this season and put it on her hands in her rookie season.
Yeah, we'll see here now if 35, and I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but if 35 is in on these free throws here. Good. First one's good. So having a conference with the referees here.
She's shooting 1 or 2. I think that seems to be the discussion, but she's going to get another one here. Mayaban made her first one. Mayaban sends that one up, and that one just clanks off the rim. Not enough on that.
She gets her own rebound.
But a good rebound there as Smith sends that ball up. Parker. There's a 3 there from Judy Ta. That's who they want taking that shot, but she just misses that.
Smith drains another one.
But good rebounding by the Colts as Yasmin Smith steps up and is not letting her team go away lightly. Down by 4, 3:13 left on the clock. Kirby with a nice pass there.
And one.
As she drove hard to the basket and passed it off to Keisha Arthurworthy. Arthurworthy's fouled but picks up the basket. And like you said, John, and one. And now the Colts have 4 team fouls.
Yeah, with just 3 minutes left, it'll be interesting to see if the Lords can get the Colts into that penalty and get into the bonus themselves. Arthurworthy wasn't paying attention, and the ref threw the ball right by her.
Got to keep your eye on that up. Here's Arthurworthy. And just
in
unable.
And out.
Yeah, that was a real close one there, John. As it's Miller now moving up with the ball. Miller moves it across back to Miller. Miller and Turner playing a little give and go here. As Turner now with it. Blocked there by Victoria Brody. Does a good job there at not picking up a foul and turning the ball over as it's going to be Lord's ball here. Brody passes it to Kirby. Kirby back to Brody. Brody coming up the middle of the court with it now. Steps on the gas. Brody streaking in there but unable to hang on to the ball as that goes out of bounds off her leg with 2:45 remaining. It is going to be a Colts possession here with Tony Parker throwing the ball in.
6-point lead here for the Lords. It'll be interesting to see if they can get a turnover here and are able to extend this lead, what once was a 10-point lead at the start, or at one point in this quarter.
Multiple 10-point leads in this game for the Lords. You know they're going to be awfully disappointed in themselves if they can't find a way to close it out here with 2:40 remaining. Here's Kanata. Kanata with the ball. Kanata streaks in, tries to get that layup to go, but unable to do it as a nice up there by Glendenning, finding none other than Maddie Dender, and Dender continues her strong performance tonight, making no mistake on that, and increasing this lead to 8. Here's Kanata again. Kanata, nice pass there to Smith.
Ball there. That was a big block.
Big block there as Dender always seems to be up the court as she picks up a foul, and that's going to put the Colts in the penalty as both teams have now taken 5 fouls in this quarter.
Big 2 points here coming out for Dender from the line.
The Lords really seem to like this play, sending Dender long and trying to get her on a fast break up, and she's taken advantage of almost all her opportunities here tonight, but she misses that first throw. And an opportunity to make this a 9-point lead.
It seems she likes to stand behind the line no matter where she's shooting.
Lines don't matter when you're 5'3". Here is Ta with a deep 2, but that is well short, and a good board there by Smith.
This is going to be a long last 2 minutes of play, I think, with both teams in the penalty.
Victoria Brody now has 5 fouls on the game, and she's going to foul out here.
Well, I guess we have our answer. It's 5 fouls, 5 personal fouls to foul out. She needs to be careful, or else she's going to get a suspension for talking back at the ref and the opposing coach.
Victoria Brody not happy about getting tossed out of this game here, but rarely players are when they're ejected from a game. Brody, what'd she finish? Brody, we don't know what she finished with, but we're going to go with at least 15 points. 15 points, 5 fouls, and you're going to see her name a lot on the final game sheet.
Yeah, the Lords definitely needed Brody in this one. No matter if she fouled out or not, she definitely provided a big chunk of offense for this team, and hopefully the Lords can go out there and get a big W for her.
Arthurworthy there with a big basket there. as all of a sudden this lead is back up to 8. Here's Kanata. Kanata moves it to Ta. Ta sends that ball in, but unable to find anybody. As Dender tried to take it, but unable to get control as the Colts are right back on him here. But a real good rebound from Glendenning. Here's Navarro. Navarro kicks it out to Dender. Dender, lots of time for 3, and
that
Dender
one looked better, but she still missed it, Joey.
Just outside and clanks that one off the rim.
We're coming into the last minute of play here in the game, and it is an 8-point lead for your Durham Lords women's basketball team.
Miller with a deep 3 there, and a good rebound there by Smith. Smith gets the rebound, takes the shot, but unable to drain it there, but she is going to draw the foul and go back to the line. With 1 minute exactly left on the clock, the Lords lead the Colts 79-71 here at the CRWC.
Yeah, that's a mouthful to say, the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center. So we've shortened it down. We don't want to be talking with marbles in our mouths.
I like short forms. Short forms make everything easier.
On a big miss there at the line by Smith. That's going to come up big, I think, for the Lords.
Oh, and a steal there by Kanata. Kanata, real nice play. Hasn't played much in the second half, but has made her presence known. Finding Smith underneath the basket, and Smith gets her rebound again. And Smith goes up and cuts this lead to 5 with 40 seconds remaining. Here is Dender now. Knows that she can take her time. One foul away from over the line.
They're going to want to foul sooner or later.
And Arthurworthy makes no mistake there. Good patience by the Lords. Good ball movement. It's going to be a timeout here.
Colts.
Now the Colts have called the timeout with 31 seconds remaining, and the Lords lead by 7.
Looking to close this one out, Joey. 31 seconds left on the clock, and I'm not going to say it's impossible because I don't want to eat my words, but it is almost impossible to get that many points in that little bit of time, so long as the Lords do not put the ball in the Colts' hands.
Yeah, ball possession is going to be the name of the game here as we end this game here at the home opener. And a really strong performance by the Lords, John, even despite what wasn't their best start to the game, going down early. After the first quarter, they were down 22 to... Going down 22 to 13. But a big second quarter with 28 points, and they've really found a way to take advantage and take hold and keep the lead here as they've gotten this lead all the way back up to 7 points. And you've mentioned this a couple times, John. Their resiliency has really been something to watch so far this evening.
Yeah, it's really uplifting, I would say, to the team to be able to be down by so much and to be able to be in the penalty so much and to still come out with a W. I mean, it's not in the bank yet, but that'll be a big confidence boost for these Durham Lords if they can come away with this big win. And we have another travel by the Colts. This is going to be something that Coach is going to have to address at their next practice.
Judy Ta there with the travel. As the Lords have 29 seconds on the game clock, 23 on the shot clock. They're going to take all their time here. Yeah, Dender now, quick foul there as Tony Parker fouls Maddie Dender. She's going to step to the line with an opportunity to take this lead to 9 points.
That's the third personal foul for number 12, Tony Parker. Dender.
Want to remind everybody not to go away because this is just game 1 of our doubleheader here as the Colts and the Lords men's basketball teams will take each other on in just over an hour from now at 8 o'clock. It's not going to be the home opener for the Lords, and it will not, but it will be the first game of the year for the Colts.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the Durham Lords men's team can come up with a big win and start their season off 2-0. I had the game call on Sunday, and big key player was Funcho DiMeggia of the Lords, our big center, number 15, and he led the team in scoring and defense. It was great. Hopefully he'll be back to full strength, though, because near the end of the game, last game, he did take a huge punch to the shoulder and was a little bit injured at the end of the game there.
So make sure you come back for that as the ball is given away here, but only 5 seconds left on the clock as Ta goes for her another three, but there is the buzzer, and that is it. Here at the WRWC, excuse me, the Lords have defeated the Centennial Colts by a score of 82-75 to start their season off 1-0. And like I mentioned, John, offense was their struggle in the preseason, only putting up 77 points as a high in their first game, 82 points, and the win.
Yeah, definitely a big win here for the Lords women's team. Let's see if the men can duplicate a result here, and let's sweep these Colts tonight.
And that is coming up very shortly here from the CRWC. Me and John will be back. That is it for this broadcast. Do not go away. We will be back shortly. The Lords defeat the Colts and start their season out strong, going up 1-0. We'll be right back.